Okay, so this is one of those lessons that you're going to use all the time because this is creating a navigation bar for a website. And you can see here, if we scroll up a little bit, you can see here that I have a navigation bar. And when I roll over it, it um, changes the text and all that stuff. And we're going to play around with that a little bit more in the future. But basically, the key thing is that this is a list, just like a bulleted list. But I've changed the style of the bulleted list so that it shows up next to each other, so that the two items show up next to each other, and so that they don't have bullets. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to take something like that, and we have a bulleted list, first page, second page, third page, and we're going to turn that into a navigation bar. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to take away the bullets, okay? So we're going to say UL and we're going to say that we want the style type for the list to be none. Okay, so list style type none, and that's where you can specify like bullets or diamonds or any of that stuff that we remember from our list. So save work, show web page. All right, so we don't have our bullets. That's great. Now what we want to do is we want to specify that we don't want this stuff to go up and down. We want this to be a float. So we're going to do float left. So now it takes it to the side, right? So this is our horizontally, so that's good. Now let's just give it some, let's give it a background color of blue. Let's give it a font color, or I guess we just have to say color of white. Let's give it a width of 200 pixels. Let's give it some space between itself, margin of 10 pixels. Let's give a little bit of padding, 10 pixels. And now we have a button. Let's make that a little smaller so they're all on the same page. Width of 100, or all on the same line rather. All right, so now we have a some things that can kind of be reasonably thought of as a navigation bar. Now what do we want to do? We want to change it so that when we hover over the item, right? When we hover over the item, we want the background color to change. And let's change it to yellow. So now we've got our navigation bar. All we need to do at this point is to create these as, when we go into this page, all we need to now do is create links for these, right? And now we've got ourselves a navigation bar. Now, see what happened here is that because I now made that a link, I need to specify here what are my colors, right? So let's see, link A is visited. Visited. I always have to remember my order here. Hover and active. So here I'll just specify what I want for those things to do. And I may also choose to take away the underline, which means that I'm going to change it so that it's not going to show up underline, because I'm already going to be indicating that I'm hovering over the link. Let's take that out of there. I might take it so that that underline goes away, and the only thing that changes when I scroll over it is the color of the page. But so this is something that you can experiment with, and what I'm going to do is I'll add in to the sample code the text for how to get rid of the underline, and so that you can really create a navigation bar the way you want. So I want you to, as part of your assignment, I want you to create a navigation bar that looks the way you want it to look. Color, action, font, all that stuff, and then save that and have that be your navigation bar. And actually, I'd like for you to submit that to the showcase. I think that would be really cool. All right.